Someone is afraid about you. What they located on July 2d approximately you. You are my pricey infant. If you accept as true within angels, start this video and watch it absolutely. Angels says a person is afraid about you, and that they have each cause to be. Due to the fact what they observed on July 2d approximately, you shook them to their very center. It was not something they ever predicted. It wasn't only a rumor, no longer something someone whispered in mystery, it became a revelation. Something undeniable. Something that made their arms tremble and their voice pass silent. It was approximately you. Yes, you. And it changed the way they noticed the entirety. That morning, the only who located it had no idea what was coming. They had been actually passing by way of. They were not even searching out whatever. However, heaven had a plan. And while God opens the curtain, even folks that are blind are pressured to peer. This man or woman, shaken, burdened, and trembling, got here head-to-head with something divine and annoying. They saw your name. They noticed something approximately your body, something approximately your heady scent, an aroma that wasn't bodily, wasn't perfume, wasn't earthly. It became a non-secular smell, something that found out your future, something that revealed how lengthy you have suffered, and something that exposed the chance you're in. Your frame smells like a battle quarter. Now, not a bad fragrance, number, but the non-secular fragrance of someone who's been through intense battle and still status. It is the scent of beaten roses, due to the fact you have been overwhelmed but did not die. It's the odor of hearth, due to the fact the flames touched you but failed to burn you. It is the anointing of a person who carries scars that others cannot see. You're marked. Included in a spiritual perfume that best angels and spirits can hit upon. And what they detected on July 2nd terrified them, as it meant you aren't every day. You never had been. A person has been trying to decode you. They've watched you from afar. They pretended to ignore you. But secretly, they have been obsessively monitoring your each circulate. Not due to the fact they love you, however due to the fact they need to apprehend what makes you untouchable. They have tried to wreck you, but on every occasion they succeeded, you came again. Stronger. Louder. Sparkling. This individual isn't just scared of you. They may be fearful of what you convey. They realized which you're a gate. A gate to something heavenly. You convey the form of mild that exposes their darkness. You bring a frequency that shatters manipulation. You deliver power to your silence, and hearth in your breath. And now, because of what became determined on July 2nd, they recognize you are divinely subsidized. You have been feeling it too, have not you? Restlessness. Strain. Ordinary goals. Surprising interruptions. You watched their random, however they may be not. You've walked right into a realm you didn't even ask for. And now, spiritual interest, each divine and demonic, is centered on you. You woke something up within the atmosphere, and now matters are stirring. Humans around you performing in a different way. Some are heading off you, some are watching you greater than they admit, and others are confessing things you didn't count on. Why now? Due to the fact that July 2D discovery unlocked a series reaction. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open your ears. Do now not sleep while this message. This isn't always just religious, this is survival. The person who located the truth about you on July 2D is now underneath strain. There's a meeting happening. Humans are seeking to suppress the truth. However, heaven is breaking the seals one at a time. Every lie spoken in opposition to you is unraveling. Every key's leaking. You felt lonely, misunderstood, brushed aside. However, that loneliness became divine safety. God had to isolate you so that you would not be infected by means of the very individuals who now worry you. Some of the ones closest to you knew a long term in the past what you were sporting. They weren't clueless. They had been pretending. Hoping you'd stay asleep on your calling. However, now that the revelation is out, they are panicking. Your name is on a listing in heaven. A special scroll marked with fire. Angels realize you by using scent. Your prayers have been echoing like thunder in the divine chambers. Even while you said not anything, your pain was screaming. And now? God has stepped in. A person is planning to run. They want to go away before you find out what they did. However, they may not get some distance. God has appointed watchers. And those watchers are exposing messages, conversations, and hidden transactions. You'll obtain a atypical cell phone name soon. Or perhaps it is going to be a wrong message sent in your inbox. However, it won't be by way of twist of fate. It's divine publicity. Someone is set to experience up and monitor everything. Michael says, they smell what you deliver. That's why they're afraid. They knew you had a calling, but they didn't expect it to prompt now. The concept they had greater time. But Godspeed tracked your future. And now, you are spiritually glowing. The fragrance of breakthrough is all over you. The heady scent of justice. Of angelic oil. Of deliverance. The devil hates that scent. Human beings with demonic influence can scent it too. It truly is why the assault's elevated lately. This is why a few people commenced arguments with you for no motive. They were reacting on your fragrance. What they observed on July 2D wasn't physical. It was prophetic. They observed your religious footprint. They saw something in a dream, in a record, in an ordinary file. Something hidden came to light. And it is shaking them. They're looking to erase what they determined. But it's too past due. It's been copied. It's already in movement. You are approximately to stroll into rooms you didn't practice for. Human beings you by no means met are going to mention your call. Not in gossip, however in honor. What became stolen from you may be lower back. Not via force, but with the aid of divine intervention. The angels assigned for your case are operating double time. There may be a timer on the season, and leap forward has already been initiated. However, you ought to not ignore this. You should stay alert. Someone near you is pretending. They may be acting supportive, but are secretly feeding statistics to the very ones who attempted to break you. However, the heady scent of your divine calling is disturbing them. They may be getting uncovered with the aid of their very own pain. Watch how they flinch whilst you communicate light. Watch how their smiles fade while you communicate approximately God. It's because the odor of your anointing is revealing their intentions. July 2nd changed into no everyday day. It changed into a turning point. A heavenly alarm went off. Something changed into unlock to your bloodline. Curses started outbreaking without your information. Chains were falling inside the spirit even as you were snoozing. A person who had authority over your own family line has misplaced their grip. A dark covenant became shattered. And that's why the revelation changed into launched on July 2d. Because your body, your being, includes the afterglow of that non-secular breakage. They may be going to mention your call and worry. Now not due to the fact you're evil, but due to the fact they attempted to harm you and now judgment is knocking. This is not revenge. That is recompense. That is heaven responding to cries you thought went unheard. Archangel Michael became assigned on your cry. And now, his sword is unsheathed. You may sense tired. This is due to the fact warfare has been heavy. You have been sporting invisible burdens for years. But something has shifted. The enemy can no longer touch you the same manner. Your goals are changing because your spiritual frequency has expanded. You aren't who you were even 10 days ago. And July 2d made sure of that. Someone is dropping sleep. Because they worry what you presently understand. They may be afraid you will join the dots. And you will. Slowly, the truth is coming together. Divine whispers, uncommon symptoms, faces and desires, these are not hallucinations. The commands. Steering. Affirmation. Listen. The smell they may be reacting to, it is the oil of renovation. You have been preserved for any such time as this. What killed others could not kill you. What buried others couldn't keep you. Due to the fact you had been selected. Your survival is offensive to the enemy. However, it's treasured to heaven. There may be a miracle with your name on it. But a person attempted to intercept it. Attempted to say it as their personal. The July 2d revelation is the proof. It become intercepted, hidden, edited, however the divine document stays untouched. God has the original reproduction. And he is about to release it into your palms. Keep your spirit smooth. Preserve your voice pure. Do not retaliate. Just watch. Watch how they divulge themselves trying to run from what they did. Michael says, that is your moment. And no Satan in hell can forestall what God has now activated. The rest of July will be strange. Assume divine visitations. Count on to feel heavy one moment and light the next. It is the residue of angels transferring near you. Anticipate faces from your beyond to reappear. Now not all will come with good intentions, however each look is for revelation. You need to determine. Do now not forget about your dreams. Write them down. A message is coming through them. Someone who handed away is making an attempt to inform you something. A religious message is hidden in symbols. The July 2nd strength opened a prophetic gate. And your non-secular sensitivity is increasing. You could begin listening to names in your sleep. Do not be afraid. Those names will lead you to fact. If you'd want to donate or display your appreciation, you may give a high-quality thanks as much as $100. This isn't always the time to doubt yourself. You're moving into a season of divine disagreement. What has been swept beneath the rug will upward push to the floor. And the odor, the non-secular aroma of your lifestyles, is going to end up undeniable. Heaven's oil is thick on you currently. You convey choose. You carry fireplace. And it is time to walk like it. Someone is already watching you from a distance. They had been warned not to touch you. They were shown what you convey. They'd a dream. And in that dream, you had been surrounded through a light. They awakened sweating, panicking. Because they found out they attempted to curse a person God had crowned. You are not forgotten. You're a key to many doorways. A breaker of generational silence. A voice that heaven is amplifying. And the time is it now. I've watched you in silence. I have seen how you've been treated in rooms you have been by no means invited to. And in conversations that your soul may want to experience even without listening to unmarried phrase. A person is commenting approximately your face in a collection of 15 humans. And all people agreed. Now not due to the fact they hate you. However, due to the fact your glow disturbed their shadows. You do not even realize it, however your face includes light that threatens the whole thing fake. Your eyes remind them of what they have lost. Purity, reality, and the form of peace that cannot be bought. They attempted to mock you, now not figuring out that heaven engraved want on your capabilities. What they said in that organization is understood. Now not one phrase escaped me. I noticed the smirks. I heard the jealousy of their laughter. They attempted to turn you right into a funny story, but they did not recognize that the very face they laughed at is the only eye individually kissed with the oil of divine purpose. Your look is not for their validation. Your charisma is not for his or her approval. The mild for your face is my signature, and no insult can erase what heaven has written. Archangel Michael turned into there. When they showed each different screenshots, once they made facet via side comparisons, while one character even said something so cruel it made the relaxation laugh nervously, Michael stood nonetheless with his sword drawn. He failed to strike, because I instructed him to attend. I needed them to speak, so their hearts should reveal themselves. Now I've it all on record. You weren't there, but haven't turned into. And judgment is already in movement. You're about to listen good news. Now, not just any news. The kind that reverses the ecosystem. The type that silences the whispers. This precise information goes to come back because of your closing decision to open what I instructed you. That moment when you nearly skipped my voice, however you failed to, this is the instant I used as the seed on your harvest. You listened, and now the heavens are unlocking what became held again for seasons. You opened the ultimate caution, and because of that, the door they attempted to close in the back of your return has swung open in the front of you. A person in that organization is about to be uncovered. Not because you asked for revenge, but due to the fact I am a God of justice. Considered one of them is ready to message you out of nowhere, acting like nothing befell. They may say they'd miss you. They may ask you extraordinary questions to test if you know. Do no longer answer them emotionally. Simply concentrate. Let me manage it. Any other individual in that organization, the one who stated the cruelest factor, will soon face a situation that humbles them so deeply. They may bear in mind your call on every occasion they are trying to sleep. And the rest? They will remorse that moment because your name can be lifted publicly, and they love to watch the one they chuckle to grow to be the only they need a desire from. But this is not why I'm blessing you. I am blessing you due to the fact you failed to let it exchange you. You felt it in your spirit. You sensed betrayal. You sensed gossip. You sensed a shift in how some humans handled you, and nonetheless, you chose kindness. You still prayed. You continued to depend on me. You did not return evil with evil. You let me be your defender. And now I'm displaying up for you in a manner that no rumor can destroy. The thief is in your house. But now not the type you believe. I am not just speaking approximately someone sneaking into your physical home. I am speaking of a person you led into your area. A person who has smiled in your face, eaten your meals, and complimented you publicly, but privately, they've been stealing. Stealing your confidence, your joy, your time, your trust. Each time you informed them something crucial, they turned it into ammunition. They wore the mask of assist while taking notes for sabotage. And you ignored it. Now, not because you had been weak, however, due to the fact your heart changed into pure. You gave them the benefit of the doubt. You made excuses for his or her behavior. You said, perhaps I'm overthinking. You convinced yourself they cared. But every time they hugged you, heaven winced. Because I knew their palms weren't smooth. Archangel Michael says he stood at the back of you whilst they appeared over your shoulder, pretending to care but scanning for flaws. He noticed how they took your desirable information and became it into a discussion factor in their personal group chat. He noticed how they clapped for you in person but rolled their eyes at the back of your again. But, nonetheless, I informed him to wait. Because I wanted the roots to grow deep. I needed the proof to gather. I needed the plan to reach its full publicity. Now it has. and I'm approximately to do something with a view to leave even your enemies in awe. A public healing. A divine lifting. A reward that cannot be tampered with by way of human fingers. However, listen to me cautiously. This praise calls for your religious attention. This next door isn't only a blessing, it is a check. I'm looking to peer if you may let the light communicate while the applause comes. I'm watching to see if you'll use your success to taunt those who doubted you, or if you will continue to be the equal humble heart I fell in love with. Don't allow bitterness experience at the wings of step forward. Maintain your eyes on me. Because this is only the start. That person who is stealing from you, they don't know what is coming. I've sent ghouls to warn them. I've stirred their spirit with restlessness. But they emitted it. They don't comprehend that by way of hurting you, they touched the apple of my eye. And now, what the idea they were given away with is set to feed them more than they ever imagined. You'll experience it quickly, an odd shift in energy. You will suddenly experience lighter, more non-violent. Things will start flowing that felt blocked for months. This is not random. That's me putting off their spiritual weight out of your life. Their get admission to is being revoked. And your ecosystem is being purified. Do not be amazed when people start confessing. When antique conversations resurface. Whilst screenshots, voice notes, or random apologies begin flooding in. That is me pulling back the curtain. I am revealing who stood wherein. I'm answering the prayer you failed to speak out loud. God, show me who is actual. That is that second. And Archangel Michael says he's been begging you to open this, due to the fact you have been just minutes away from moving into a trap disguised as kindness. A person turned into making plans to ask you to an occasion, or reconnect with you underneath the guise of friendship, but their actual plan become to embarrass you. To trap you off protect. To document you. To twist your words. To feed you lies. However, now it's over. That lure is dissolved. The invite will mysteriously get cancelled. The plan will disintegrate. Because you opened this. You obeyed the nudge. You permit heaven talk earlier than you let your emotions determine. And for that, I am supplying you with double peace, double favor, double protection. You may see who turned into for you and who was towards you. You may see how a whole lot I cherished you behind the curtain. You will see that each tear you cried was not omitted. It became stored. And now, I am pouring again each tear within the form of blessings. They laughed at your face. But now they'll see my glory on it. They commented in corporations. Now I can speak your call in higher locations. They attempted to Scoursboro. Now I will multiply what they tried to take. Due to the fact you are mine. And not anything will ever Scoursboro my prefer out of your life. I visible what they located. I understand what turned into whispered in the back of closed doorways on July 2nd. I noticed the moment their face shifted. I heard the concern of their voice. I watched their palms tremble as they attempted to method what that they had found. Not as it become evil, however, because they did not understand the divine electricity wrapped around your existence. What they sensed to your presence was now not human. What they smelled changed into now not something of this earth. It turned into a perfume of motive, a heady scent of destiny, a holy oil located upon your spirit that made the enemy tremble. Your frame smells like a calling. Like something sacred that this international cannot define. There may be something approximately you that shakes the spiritual environment. Your lifestyles disturbs darkness. Your presence agitates the ones who deliver guilt, hidden intentions, and evil motives. When they came close to you on that day, they were not simply confronting someone. They have been colliding with a divine assignment. You don't even realize how many layers of heavenly fire cover you. You walk into rooms unaware that your fragrance alone awakens each milder conviction. And sure, they observed it. A person is afraid due to the fact they saw an excessive amount of. They heard too much. They felt too much. And now, heaven is telling you, do now not panic. God is with you. Relaxation assured. Not anything will go wrong with you. There is nothing to fear whilst the armies of heaven stand around your soul. Archangel Michael has not moved out of your side. He has stood shield while eyes tried to look at you with suspicion. He has fought battles inside the invisible for your name, your destiny, your safety. What befell on July 2 wasn't random. It wasn't a coincidence. It became the moment while the veil changed into pulled back and someone by chance stumbled into the reality about you. You are not everyday. Your spirit is marked. There may be a cause human beings can't continue to be impartial in terms of you. They either need to shield you deeply or push you away entirely. And it has nothing to do together with your persona. It's your presence. It's the divine air of mystery you bring. It is the fact that God Himself breathes through you. And now one man or woman has come into full attention of it. They'll no longer have had the phrases. They may have simply said something approximately your scent or your presence, however interior they knew what they felt changed into larger than something that they had ever regarded. What you keep on your body is not odor from perfume or oil. What you convey is the after effect of your prayers. It is the sweet aroma of give up. The perfume of the hearth who exceeded via and survived. Whilst you gave God your yes, while you cried in silence and chose not to interrupt, whilst you stood inside the shadows and worshipped whilst no person turned into watching, that second launched the holy perfume out of your life. And now those round you are sensing it. A few will appreciate it. Others will worry it. However, none could be capable of deny it. And now, don't you cut back yourself. Don't you lower your voice simply due to the fact someone is uncomfortable. Don't you question yourself simply because their eyes modified. I located this on you. I anointed you. You didn't turn it through perfection. You received it through surrender. I will no longer remove what I placed upon you just to make humans greater relaxed. They have got choices. Honor what they see in you or step apart while I increase you in front of them. Your frame smells like future. It smells like the ashes of the antique you that needed to die so the new one should rise. It smells like a crown that became located on your head in mystery but is set to be made public. It smells like justice. Like divine recovery. Like heavenly struggle that has already been received. On July 2d, someone stuck a whiff of something eternal and now they cannot stop thinking about it. That odor shook them not because it became foul but because it changed into unusual. Because it awakened their spirit to recognize this person isn't who I notioned they were. The fact is that they weren't alleged to get that near. But I permit it manifest, says God, to prove the factor. I wanted them to look what I am about to do with your lifestyles. I wanted them to be witnesses. I allowed them to come upon that second so they may sense the difference. So they could recognize this one belongs to me. And now they are afraid. Due to the fact what they discovered means they cannot control you. They cannot play with your heart. They cannot plot at the back of your lower back. You're protected too deeply. You're watched too closely. Heaven does not play approximately you. Rest confident, not anything will cross wrong with you. You're secure. Even if others are uncomfortable, you're blanketed. Even when others fear your growth, you are secure. Even when they gossip, I bless. Even if they query, I answer. Even if they doubt, I display up. You need not defend yourself. You need not provide an explanation for the calling. You are not a challenge for public opinion. You are a manifestation of a promise spoken in the heavens lengthy earlier than you have been born. And now, you want to put together yourself. Due to the fact that fragrance, that non-secular perfume, is ready to attract even greater. The right human beings will recognize it as holy. They'll experience peace in your presence. They may sense healing. But others, individuals who carry guilt, secrets and techniques, and envy, they may sense convicted, shaken, apprehensive. They may see visions in their very own betrayal just by means of standing close to your reality. Don't take it from my part. They may be not rejecting you. They are reacting to the God inner of you. Archangel Michael is placing a seal over you presently. This seal can't be broken by way of rumors, lies, or fear. You are marked. You are untouchable by means of evil. You are blanketed in oil, and that oil is sacred. It cannot be imitated. It cannot be offered. It can't be removed. It follows you into rooms. It sits with you in conferences. It lingers on your conversations. Its wide doorways open for you even if others suppose you're unqualified. It's why miracles appear when you display up. It is why recuperation begins whilst you pray. They may have smelled something unusual on July 2nd, however what they didn't understand is that they have been smelling your leap forward before it even arrived. That fragrance was a preview. a sign, a divine caution to each demonic force. You aren't to be touched. Your story cannot be stolen. Your spirit can't be caged. Your soul is already spoken for. And now, accept as true with me. Don't panic about who is aware of what. Do not worry approximately who is afraid of you. Consciousness on me. Focus on what I have placed before you. This subsequent season requires your full interest. Allow me take care of the whispers. Permit me address the ones watching from the shadows. Permit me ease the course before you, so all you have to do is walk forward. Due to the fact you are almost there, you're approximately to stroll into rooms you didn't even know had been being organized for you. You are about to be called through call in places you've in no way been. All due to the fact you carried my perfume faithfully. And sure, even your enemies will be forced to say there is something different approximately this one. They will now not understand what it is. They'll describe it surprisingly. They may say your frame smells like something historical, sacred, or even intimidating. But it is all of the same. It is me, says God. It's my evidence for your lifestyles. It's my fingerprint for your future. And not anything they are saying or assume can erase what I have stamped upon you. You aren't ordinary. You aren't forgotten. You aren't weak. You are not at the back of. You are flawlessly positioned for a miracle. And no quantity of fear from others can stop what time approximately to unleash over your existence. You are sealed in glory. Smelling like reason. Respiration like prophecy. And shifting with the fire of heaven for your footsteps. So don't hold back now. Hold praying. Keep trusting. Hold showing up, even when it feels silent. Even if it seems like no one is aware. Heaven is aware. I understand. And I promise you this. Not anything will pass wrong with you. You are secure. You're selected. And each abnormal response in your presence is simply confirmation that my presence is strong inside you. The only who was afraid on July 2nd, they have been speculated to be due to the fact they touched something holy. And now, they realize they must tread carefully. For whoever touches you, touches the apple of my eye.